Hi, welcome to Stuck, Part 3. Is it my fault? That is the words that many times women who lost a mother when they were in that 6 to 12-year-old age group. If you were in that age group when you experienced mother loss, do you think it's your fault? Do you think you made it happen? In what ways does this affect you today? And what can you do about it? If I haven't introduced myself to you, I'm Mary Ellen Collins, and I'm the founder of the Motherless Daughters Ministry. And I'm excited to bring you Monday morning ministry moments. Each week on Monday, we'll be sending you videos of inspiration, quotes, knowledge, things that will keep us together. But today, and I think we've been working with women for 20 plus years, so we want to share this knowledge with you that we have received. If you've experienced mother loss as young as 6 to 12 years old, then this is what we're talking about today. If you're aware of other motherless daughters, share this message with them. If this message is speaking to you, hit the like button. Today, I just want you to focus on what I have to share with you if this is your age of loss group. We want to hear everything from you and questions in the comment sections. If there are things that you want me to respond to, tell me and I will be responding to you. This ministry was created for you. So it is created to empower you, to walk with you in your healing journey, and let you know that you're not alone in anything that you do. So one of the things I want to do first is I want to go back to the stages of emotional development. And in part 1, we talked about age and stage. In part 2, we talked about age of loss from 0 to 6. And you remember this formula that age plus stage plus the ability of the caretaker to be able to help you grieve makes a difference how emotionally centered and balanced you are as an adult. At each stage of development, you face a crisis. And in order to resolve this crisis, you're faced with mastering developmental tasks primary to that age. So if this skill is successfully achieved, it will lead to mastering the developmental tasks that are and contribute to lifelong well-being. But failure to master these critical tasks, however, can result in social and emotional struggles that last a lifetime. And let's relate that to mother loss, whether through death or absence. A child who loses a mother during that age of development of 6 to 12 often get stuck and they ponder the question, is it my fault? So at this age, there's a cause and effect belief system. 6 to 12-year-olds don't have the psychological or emotional maturity and to experience how to cope with loss. They haven't had that experience to know how to. So a child in this age group, they basically have a cause and effect belief system. If something happens, there's a cause for that. Now, when it is the mother she loses, her cause and effect belief system tells her she must have done something wrong. Mothers don't leave their children. This is called magical thinking. She truly believes that she's the cause of her mother's leaving or her death. Mothers leave children because children are bad is part of that belief system. The belief has really manifests itself in a lifelong inferiority complex as she matures into adulthood. A story I will share with you, one woman who had lost her mother when she was 7 years old. Now she's an adult, but she still feels as if she caused her mother's death. At 6, in a heated argument, She told her mother she wished she were dead. Now, that's a 6-year-old saying that. But as an adult, her rational side knows that she could not have caused her mother's cancer. But her internal 7-year-old believes to this day she caused that. She often believes that it's her fault, and she often begs for relationships to continue as an adult, even though it's not healthy for her. What compounds magical thinking is when these young girls are not told the truth about an impending loss or death. Now, this may have been true for the woman I was think I gave you an example for just a minute ago. The feelings get intensified if they receive false information. So many times adults believe they're protecting the child when they don't tell them what's happening in their world. But however, the child is left to make up a story. And in their story, they're the ones who caused the loss. They are not adults, and they do not have the reserve to manage that loss. And what I see so often is people don't come clean and be honest about what's going to happen or what has happened with that 6 to 12-year-old because they feel like they're too young. And while it may be difficult, it is imperative that they have honest information. Sadly, when that doesn't happen, see, a lot of times the adult is grieving also. So taking care of the child is a very difficult thing. But what happens when these women grow up and become adults, they will engage in lots of codependent behaviors to keep relationships from ending. Young girls who experience loss at this age, they don't want to talk about it. So you may try your best to share with them what is happening, but they don't want to talk about it. However, all of their feelings will come out in play. So you may see them playing and separating a block or separating a doll because they are experiencing and projecting that loss into their play. One of the hardest things to understand that there is a psychological mechanism that's called transference. A child who experiences loss at this age, they may transfer their feelings of need and dependency onto another available adult. This could be a father, it could be an older sibling, it could be a teacher, it could be a neighbor. But the transference she uses is a coping mechanism. And what I want to give you a heads up and a warning, it also makes her very vulnerable and an easy target for predators. We have had many women share that this was the time that they experienced abuse from another adult or a neighbor that was paying attention to her. So as an adult, she will continue to search for people throughout her life to transfer her feelings of need. If you have someone you know that has lost a mother from 6 to 12, and this is a fresh loss, please, please, please watch these women because these young girls, they are very vulnerable at this age. I want to share with you a few other stories of women, of motherless daughters who have experienced loss in this age. Another example is a woman whose mother had multiple sclerosis. So, and when she was about 7, the mother did not die at that time, but she was confined. So the woman's mother loss really started at the age of 7. She was expected to take on an adult role, caring for her younger siblings, cooking, cleaning, doing the household chores. This woman had to become the adult at age 7. She was not psychologically or emotionally equipped. There was no one to nurture her. As an adult, she was angry and exhibited behaviors that were overbearing and controlling and bitter, just really not a nice person. Her relationship with her father was distant and strained. And as he aged, part of her anger was pointed at him. She worked hard to realize that she did not have a childhood. She needed to grieve the loss of not only her mother, but also the childhood she lost. A motherless daughter who experienced motherless at age 12 had another example. We had to assume the role of a caretaker for a sick mother, but also for her sister and her overbearing, critical father. That loss translated into overwhelming feelings of guilt if she did not take care of things in her life. The critical factors that determines how emotionally balanced and centered we are as adults is that availability of a loving, supportive caretaker after losing a mother. This could be a father, it could be a grandparent, it could be an older sibling, it could be anyone who is willing to invest in the child's growth. Having this support changes your adaptability as an adult. Sadly, most of us did not have that. Just remember, you don't have to remain stuck. What you have to do is learn to identify this and understand how to manage it. So my prayer for you is that you can stop and you can look inside yourself. Ask yourself how you are affected today as a result of losing your mother if you were in the 6 to 12-year-old age group. If you experience that loss, can you relate to any of this as an adult? How does this play out in your adult life? Are there ways that you act as an adult that connects with these themes? Share your stories, and until next week, have a wonderful week. Goodbye.